recently watched the Netflix 6-episode series Bombay Begums directed by Alankrita Srivastava and Bonila Chatterjee. Within 2 hours of the series releasing, the IMDb rating of the show was already 2 out of 10. One of the main reasons why I keep on telling you how important it is to watch the shows these days in India, as most of these ratings are mass hatred towards creators that is fueled by Twitter posts. Irrespective, while trying to ignore the blatant hatred towards the show, I wanted to explore what it is all about. Bombay Begums focuses on women from different stratas of society in Mumbai that cross paths with one another. Rani, who is the CEO of an established bank, finds herself in a messy predicament as her stepson hits a boy on the street while drunk driving. This leads to Lily, played by Amrita Subhash, the mother of the boy, who has been hit, and who is a dancer and a prostitute to extract monetary gains from Rani for the future of her child. The narrative also focuses on Fatima, played by Shahana Goswami, going through IVF with her husband in pursuit of having her own child. Aisha, played by Plabita Bol Thakur, who comes wide-eyed and hopeful to the city of dreams, and Shai, played by Adya Anand, a teenager experiencing her first love while trying to come to terms with issues such as body image, menstruation, and what every teenager wants with her peers, to feel belonged and wanted. How these stories coincide and coexist with one another forms the storyline of Bombay Begums. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the series so that you guys can ultimately decide whether the series is worth your time on Netflix or not. The good. The performances. For anyone to debate that the performances of this show are not praiseworthy would be denying the obvious. Honestly, barring the dramatic and almost one-tone pitch of some of the characters, the actors from the main cast have put forth such sincere and convincing performances. This is Pooja Bhatt's acting appearance after close to 10 years, and I'm shocked on how bloody good she was in this series. Pooja Bhatt, as Rani, the CEO of a bank, works in a world where she is surrounded by men in her board of directors that remind her of her worth when she never asks. She, as a stepmother, tries her best to assimilate with her new family and children, but struggles as the kin long for their deceased mother. Pooja is not hesitant to showcase the physical vulnerabilities that exist when women age, and it's so refreshing to see an unapologetic portrayal of a reality that women in that demographic experience. The character requires her to be dominant and assertive in most scenes, and Bhatt does a splendid job. Amrita Subhash is totally a veteran when it comes to the portrayal of characters, especially when they're from Maharashtra. Lily is manipulative, opportunistic, yet absolutely loving, especially pertaining to her son. All these characteristics are showcased with such ease by the performer that I'm convinced that she is one of the most talented artists we have in the country. While Plabita Bol Thakur might be the most caricaturish of the main cast, channelizing her "my world is my oyster" almost to the extremities of being naive, she eventually wins you over with her innocence and sincerity. My favorite performer of the series was Shahana Goswami as Fatima. Her struggle is the most complex, deep, and is fleshed out beautifully. Her relationship with Vivek Gombar, who again, after Sir and The Suitable Boy, is so brilliant as a performer, and her internal struggle of trying to come to terms with what defines her as a woman is showcased with beautiful sensitivity. Their journey of ups and downs are almost uncomfortable to watch, which makes it even more real. Of the men, while most of them are showcased as heathens, while I will come to this later, it was good to see Imad Shah back on screen. He possesses a confidence as if he never had a hiatus in any way. Women and their stories. What is important to acknowledge is that the stories that are being showcased in Bombay Begums is the reality of many women. Is it a majority in India? Maybe not, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. A woman wanting her own child while biologically it is not possible is something many women experience. The casual sexism that one faces in the workplace or even at home is so many individuals' reality. The insecurity that seeps in a relationship where women earn more than men, the constant reminder that women need men to be fulfilled in life, the societal pressure that puts a hold on your professional career with the onset of pregnancy, the reality as a young girl to physically develop in order to feel belonged, the societal prejudice that exists while observing women that are either single or doing a trade that is unacceptable. All of these are realities that cannot be denied, and the show, for most of its part, tells these stories that many women will resonate with. This brings me to the most important point. The misplaced hatred. There is this weird uproar that happens whenever the perspective of women showcases extramarital affairs, menstruation, menopause, the concept of sex, consent, and the gambit of sexual orientation. The uproar takes place as if to be in disgust that these aspects need to be showcased. It's as if we want to slip these nuanced topics under the rug because we don't want to deal with them. It also makes me think, when did art become about only showcasing the stories of the good, honorable, and noble? Isn't the point of art to showcase stories of all kinds of people, even the broken and messed up? Shouldn't we judge the story that is being told rather than judge it from a position of what should be showcased? When Munna Bhaiya comes back to his wife after cheating on her, it's fine. But when female characters are doing the same, everyone loses their mind. The important point is that most of the women in Bombay Begums are not morally upright in any way, and it doesn't glorify their actions. It actually makes you kind of hate them for their choices, and while being real regarding this, I have to concede and accept that the show falters eventually, despite these good points. Let's get to that. The underwhelming aspects. Spoon feeding the narrative. One of my biggest pet peeves in Hindi cinema or content in general is the need for creators to over-explain what is happening. One of the most successful directors of India is Rajkumar Hirani. If you notice all of his films, the characters, their intentions and their description will be spelled out for you the moment they are introduced. While this may work for commercial Bollywood cinema, there is almost this assumption by the creators of Bombay Begums that the audience is not intellectually capable to understand these topics. Hence the spoon feeding begins and carries on until the nauseating end. The series is backed by the voiceover of the character of Shai that describes through her letters to her deceased mother of what most of the women in the series are experiencing. So while things happen in the series, the voiceover goes into analogies to create parallels of what happened. It's important to acknowledge that the dialogues between the characters is enough to communicate various aspects of the experience of women, but the creator doubles down with the voiceover that gets repetitive and almost foolish at times. While one seeks for love in her life, there will be a tangent on Eve and the forbidden fruit. While one seeks to be dominant in the workforce, there will be a take on the queen and her position. It can be best described as an overkill. You know in Thappad when the husband casually states ye karti kya hai when Diya Mirza's character gets out of an SUV, that is all that is required to communicate the inherent sexism. I don't know why, but Alankrita finds it necessary to double down, almost to tell us again if we didn't get it in the first place. While Shashank's voiceover was more of an observer of things, the letters by Shai in this case miraculously turned out to correlate to the characters that Shai doesn't even know. It's funny how if there was no voiceover in this series, that Bombay Begums would have actually been a way more slick edit. Dramatic pitch. The sad reality of a show like Bombay Begums is that it needs antagonists, and when a show deals with the position of women from various stratas of society, and it is an Alankrita Srivastava project, most of these villains are men. The hilarious part of the show is that except Imad Shah's character, almost every male figure is kind of a selfish prick. Manish Chaudhary is possibly the worst written, as he can be best described as the asshole and nothing more. There is nothing redeeming about him, and he plays the part like an old school villain, who constantly challenges women and scoffs at their opinions. The part about Bombay Begums that makes it an average product also is that it is confused on what it is. Is it a commentary on the position of women, or is it a dramatic thriller? In the pursuit of being both, the show takes this over-the-top pitch in certain sections which does not suit where we had originally started the journey. By the way, in episode 6, without giving any spoilers, two of the characters literally enact a scene which is identical to that of Closer shared between Clive Owen and Julia Roberts if you have seen the film. Just putting it out there. Unnecessary subplots and the absolvement of women. There are many subplots which did not make sense to me and almost derailed the progression of the storyline, which may have drawn you in. I think what I disagreed with the most was the portrayal of a municipal corporator that causes havoc in Lily's life. It just portrays the men in saffron scarves as heathens who quote the Bhagavad Gita in context to the position of women. This gave me flashbacks of Alankrita's previous film Dolly or Kitty, where a similar subplot was placed, and it was unnecessary to what the prime focus of the storyline was. Other moments that include jealousy that lingers on as partners move on and one only resorts to smoking and drinking gets repetitive in most of Alankrita's filmography. What I also found highly problematic in the series was that while men are the problem when it comes to abuse of power and harassment in the series, women also in the series contribute to the same problem. Mind you, the women in the series are not angels in any way, but they absolve themselves of any blame very casually while being a part of the problem. There are several instances throughout the show where women pull each other down and are not supporting one another, but it's as if the writers don't want to admit to that in dialogue, so most of the interactions are talking about men being the problem. While to identify the source is important, the contribution of the sex that keeps those very issues under the rug is also to be acknowledged. A mere "we are part of the problem" in passing is not enough. A more balanced approach may have led to a more profound product. I see many people create parallels with a show like 4 More Shots Please, and I'm sorry, but that is an insult to this show, which is far superior. It's however sad to admit that this is one of Alankrita's weaker products from her filmography. I still prefer Lipstick Under My Burqa and the episode she directed in Made in Heaven. To discount this series will be a preemptive move. It is a series that falters because of its treatment and politics, but it doesn't take away from the several realities of women that it does showcase. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the show. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPlans4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.